Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. I just got a new Thrive Life order in, as you can tell down at the bottom there, and I thought it would be a perfect time for me to explain to you how to rotate your food storage. Alright, thanks for joining me. I'm going to go through a little bit of stuff here. Might be a little boring in the beginning. I am going to show you what I got from Thrive for my new order. But I'm going to explain to you about food rotation. Now, the first thing, somebody asked me on one of my videos, what's rotating your food, you know? And basically I explain it like this. It's the process by which you use up your old food and your old storage item and replace them with new stuff, thus rotating the old stuff out. This is also why we say store what you eat. Because if you don't like what you're storing, and you think, oh, when I'm starving, I'll eat anything, and you have to eat it to rotate it, it's not going to go pretty well. And you'll end up throwing out a lot of stuff, and you'll have waste, and that doesn't save you any money. So you could either save more money or buy more preps. Either way. What I use is a process called FIFO, and we'll get into that later on. It's a first in, first out. So if a product comes in first, it's the first item you use up. You take your older items, you place them in front, your newer items go in the back, and the newer items will have a longer shelf life, so that's why they go in the back. Now, why do you do it? Okay, that's the next question I get a lot, and pretty much that's because you want to provide the most nutrition and taste should you need your food storage. I don't want, stuff that's been up there for 3 years to be the first thing I eat when a disaster strikes, Meanwhile, the new stuff is right in the front, and I eat that up first, and my old stuff's sitting in back getting older. So, that's why you rotate. Plus, it prevents you from throwing away unused stuff, spoiled stuff, and it gives you a chance to go through your preps, too. Recently, I redid this whole bottom section down here with all my canned chicken, and I didn't find any bad cans, but I found a lot of dust and dirt and stuff, and some stuff was very old, so I rotated it out. Then, I took an inventory sheet, you'll notice I have one here, and this is really just a simple inventory sheet I use. Date, time, date, item, total on hand, and total needed. So when I rotate stuff out, if I find stuff that I'm going to use up, I just take it and write it on here, put it in our main pantry in our kitchen, use it up, and go and buy new stuff. And I usually do that within the day or maybe the next day, because I don't want something to happen and maybe minus whatever I have up there. So we're going to get into what I got from Thrive, and then I'm going to show you how I rotate what's up here on the wall. Alright, so down here's stuff I picked up. I also picked up one of these. This is the Thrive Express meals. And these are sort of, the best way to describe it for people that don't know, is they're kind of like Mountain House meals, but they're for more people. They're for, 3 to 4 people. And this is a creamy beef and noodles. And I will be opening this very one up and doing a video on it, because the other one I have that's up there, the 2 others that I have that are up there, are only like 3 or 4 weeks old, so no point in using the old one. So while we're talking about rotation, I'm going to break the first rule and use the newest one, but the old ones aren't that old. Anyway, got some onions. This is one of the reasons I hate doing videos in here, because the shadows are horrible. There's not a lot of light in my storeroom. I got some freeze-dried onions in there. Got some mushrooms. And I got 3 of the ground beef, because that can be used with pretty much anything, and I've cooked with this. You've seen videos where I've cooked outside with it. Really, really good stuff. Ground beef, ground sausage, really hard to go wrong with. Another thing of onions. These are, what are these? These are chopped onions. These are a little bit bigger. This stuff here. This is a Thrive tomato sauce. Okay? Now, I've tried powdered tomato sauce in the past. It's been gross. This stuff is amazing. I mean, really, it tastes like real tomato sauce. I would put it on par with very, very good canned tomato sauce. It's really, really good. It's not watery or runny or gross or anything. Trust me, you'll want to try this stuff out. And for my wife, because she loves pineapple slices. And some powdered butter. Again, this stuff is really good powdered butter. I've had some that taste, it looks like butter. It looks like soft, malleable butter, but you taste it and it's grainy and kind of, I don't know. This stuff was really, really good. And of course, my favorite, chopped chicken. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stuff that's up there. Let's move the camera up so I can show you. This stuff here. And I'm going to show you how I rotate it. Now, granted, this stuff is only a couple months old, None of it is, in any danger of going bad, but I'm going to show you how I do it and my method, and you can use that for your rotation at home. So we'll be right back. I'm going to go over my few rules of rotation first, and I'll kind of show you as I go. My first rule is you don't want to eat the freshest items first. If I were to come in here now and take this and put it in front, guess what? I'm going to eat this way before that stuff gets used, and it's going to get older and it's going to expire. Now granted, with this stuff we're talking a 25-year shelf life, but with canned goods, it gets important, okay? So that's when you want to use FIFO, which is an old restaurant trick I learned when I used to work in restaurants, and that's first in, first out, meaning the first item that came in, the oldest, is the first item that you want to use up, while the newer stuff gets put in the back because it has more time. Now, when you're regularly rotating food, you'll be able to check it for signs of spoilage. If you see bulging cans or home canned goods that are seeping liquid from the seal, you'll want to throw those away immediately. Okay, those are sure signs of botulism poisoning, and you don't want that, especially during an emergency. So when you take your cans out, inspect them. Take a look at the bottom. Does everything look okay? I'm going to take a can of Keystone Chicken here to show you. You look for any kind of bulges in the seal or anything. I have my stamp on the bottom when I bought it. You look for any kind of damage to the can. Now, during the rotation process, you can also inspect your food storage area for any kind of signs of infestation, pest infestation. Catching a mouse or ant infestation before it becomes a huge problem, before your food storage gets eaten up by it or ruined by it, is very, very important. When you're doing this, you can just tear stuff down, take a look back there. So you check your area. Feel it. Is it dusty? Is it dirty? Are there ants? Are there bugs? Is there any kind of remnants of any kind of animal droppings? And this will give you a time to inspect it. All right, now we've got the area clear, but now what are we going to do? Well, we can start doing an inventory. Let's say that can of sauce is really, really old sitting there, all right? Well, I can get rid of it, take it out, and I can write down here on my sheet that I need to replace the sauce. So today is 5/25, 18. I'm writing in midair, so don't mind the chicken scratch. But I can put 0 on hand, and I need 1. Okay? And this is really what I use. I mean, I use this exact sheet. I have 4 lines there on a blank piece of paper. When I go through here, I don't keep an inventory of what's here. I keep an inventory of what I use and need to replace. Now, this brings us up to another thing, actually using the stuff on your storage shelf, okay? When you get a good deal on something, make sure you like it. I made the mistake a while back of buying this Tyson stuff down here. This chicken breast, and as you can tell, it's in front because it's getting rotated out. I really didn't particularly like it too much. I like the chunk chickens from Walmart better. This stuff was kind of mealy tasting to me, even when it was brand new. So it is in front, and it's going to get rotated out. So when you find a good deal on something, and that's why I bought this, because it was a good deal, do yourself a favor and buy a few cans of it first to try it out, see if you or your family like it, before you go nuts and buy the whole case of something and you have to eat it up. All right, now when you add items to your shelf, be sure to date the cans, okay? This can came in last month, and I forgot to date it. I just realized that when I was showing you the previous thing. So I'm putting a date of 4/18 on it with my marker. These are the older cans down here. See, 3/18. I even have a 2/18 here. Now, of course, for freeze-dried storage, that's not long. But still, you want to keep a running total. So this is brand new. These just came in now. So I'm going to date them 5. Ooh, that looks like an 8. 5/18. That's what I get for trying to write around my camera. And I'm going to do that with all the stuff that came in today. 5/18. And we're going to stack everything neatly in there. And I'm also going to move that around. You probably won't see that part, but I'm going to move that chocolate to another area. Or just pile it up differently. So we'll be back when that's done. It's all rotated in, and it's all in order, and I've moved the chocolate. I actually, moved the chocolate up to there for now. I'm hiding it up there. I do have another case of tomato sauce I want to put in there. And that's another point too. Try and group your items together. That way when you're looking for something, you know it's going to be in that general vicinity. Now I'm kind of working, this is a spare bedroom that I've turned into a storeroom. It also stores all my firearms and ammo, so it's pretty crowded in here. But I've tried to put things together as best as possible and to group things together. So those are all my sauces That's all my Spam over there. This is some Thrive stuff. I have more Thrive stuff over this way here in my big number 10 cans of storage food up on the other side. I have a couple Mountain House storage foods up here. That was back when Walmart was selling them, so I kind of just put them up there. But I know where things are in general. This is pretty good, okay? Next tip, label your shelves. Now, I don't do this, okay? But if you have a very large storeroom, again, I'll take the camera around and show you. It's not huge in here, and there's much more this way, but I don't want to run you into the light. But it's not huge in here, but label your shelves if you have a bigger storeroom. It might make it easier. Me, I'm the only one that does this, so if I had a bunch of kids or family members coming in here, I'd probably want to label the shelves so it helps them rotate stuff and put things in the right places. Okay? Do yourself a huge favor. Put heaviest stuff on the bottom. Okay? If you've noticed, I don't know if I showed it to you when I panned around, I have all my white tubs of storage of wheat and pasta and all that stuff at the bottom of that rack there. Heavier stuff on the bottom, easier to pick up, easier to move, won't fall down and break stuff, won't knock things over, and you'll be able to store it a lot easier just by shoving it in the bottom than trying to put it up on a higher shelf that it might fall and break from. And lastly, when you have items that have been sitting on the shelf for a while, like actually when I was doing the video, I had mentioned that canned chicken at the bottom. That's been on there for a while. Do yourself a favor, take them out, rotate them, use them up, force yourself to go out and restock. So that's pretty much my tips for rotating food. We did it with our Thrive order today, and yeah, Thrive stuff doesn't really need to get rotated as often, but it still helps to know you have the freshest stuff in the back and the older stuff in the front. Anyway, I thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.